What is up, Royal families and Royal viewers? This is Titanus Fully here, and today I'll be doing a spoiler review for Episode 2 of Welcome to Derry. So just like the last spoiler review, if you have not seen Episode 2 of Welcome to Derry yet, you better click off this video right now and go watch Episode 2 first, and then come back to this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into the spoiler review. Okay, so starting things off, we open exactly at the same moment that Episode 1 ended, which is the theater attack scene, but in Lily's point of view. Seeing all of her friends get chopped up by that baby monster, but apparently she woke up from a nightmare. And obviously that traumatized her so much that apparently she decided not to talk about it. Even her friend, who always hangs out with the cool girls, obviously she's worried about what's happening and wants to make sure that if she's okay or not. And she's like, please, just don't do that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, so then we... Oh, excuse me. Okay, so then we... then the next scene that we go to is with Ronnie being worried about her dad. Because her dad owns the same theater that they were attacked at the cinema. Now, why do I keep saying that? I mean, the same theater that he owns, the same theater that Maddie got just taken from. So yeah, apparently she is worried that her dad might turn himself in because he is the owner of that theater. But her father's like, hey, everything is okay. Nothing bad's gonna happen to me. I'll be just fine. So yeah, then we then cut to a nighttime. Oh, wait, well, I'm gonna get to that later. But then we cut to Ronnie and Lily talking at school, and one of the cool girls were getting some racial confusions, like just like Andy and Barbara Muschietti said, that this season has racial issues. So apparently the cool girls are having some racial problems with Ronnie and decided to try to pick on her. So then the next night, where she's in bed, hearing her father and grandmother arguing, she covers herself with the blanket, but she does try to uncover herself, but apparently something strange was going on, because apparently she is now getting an illusion where she's inside of her mother's stomach, which obviously did sound a bit disturbing as she bursts out. She then witnesses Pennywise in the shape of her mother. There's a reason why that Pennywise decided to take on the shape of her mother is because apparently Ronnie has a bad childhood on the fact that when she was given birth, where her mother gave birth to her, apparently her mother died during her birth. So due to that, Pennywise knows that her fear is feeling guilty about killing her mother on her birth. And then apparently she does end up getting even more terrified that apparently her face starts turning into a demon, and the bottom area turns into a mouth of sharp teeth as it starts chomping, and the cord starts pulling her in. And then what gives me chills the most is, of course, Pennywise's eyes glowing inside that mouth. Like, oh my lord. I was like, wait a minute, is Pennywise gonna crawl out and attack her? Well, apparently not, because just like they said, we're not going to see Pennywise until later in the show. So apparently we're just going to see him turn into random monsters. So yeah, she does end up getting terrified and then starts cutting the cord off, immediately trying to escape. As the mother starts wobbling like crazy, like, and starts walking towards her and screaming at her face. Like, that was one of the most traumatizing events that she had to witness. But luckily, her grandmother and father have showed up at the right time. And now the illusion just disappears. Then the next day at school, Lily is having lunch in the cafeteria, and she meets up with Ronnie in the cafeteria. And Ronnie tells Lily that, Lily, that thing came back for me. I don't know what to do. So, of course, Lily is trying to make sure that her father doesn't get blamed for this mess. But, of course, Ronnie gets confused and starts getting upset. And she even blurted out the S word that she immediately gets detention for it. And then we get introduced to the Hanlon family named... Well, we already seen the grandfather in episode 1, which is Leroy Hanlon, who is basically the grandfather of Mike Hanlon. Then we get introduced to Charlotte Hanlon, who is basically Mike Hanlon's grandma. And of course, one of the other kids that we know is Will Hanlon, who is basically the father of Mike Hanlon, I think. So then we get introduced to another kid character named Rich. I don't know if that's like a foreshadowing for like him being Richie Tosher's brother, uncle, or other ancestor in that type of event. Like, if you know Richie Tosher, who was played by Finn Wolfhard and Bill Hader in It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, yes, that Richie. I think they're trying to pull something like that off, just like they're doing with Mike Hanlon's family. Now Charlotte starts roaming around the city, shopping for things, but apparently she sees a group of kids kicking and bullying a kid in the street, and she's like, you better knock it off right now, and just pushes him away from the kid they're beating up. And of course the bullies also have racial issues, as they start intimidating her, and as the kid they beat up ran away, of course they ignore her words and just go back to attacking the kid. Like, seriously, is people in Derry never gonna solve stuff like this? And so, yeah, and then how Will Hanlon gets detention is apparently he saw someone throwing a smoke grenade in the hallway, and apparently tries to escape it. But apparently he runs into the teacher, who also has a racial problem with him on the first day. And then he end up getting detention with Ronnie. So yeah, apparently Will Hanlon and Ronnie end up becoming friends, I think. I think it's what I remember seeing in episode 2. And my guess is that Ronnie and Will Hanlon are probably going to be a thing. Because how else will Mike Hanlon be born if they had a couple? Like just think about it. Mike Hanlon had parents, so maybe Ronnie becomes Mike Hanlon's mother. So like, it's just a theory if it's gonna happen or not. Like, Will Hanlon and Ronnie are gonna be a thing, and that's when they become the parents of Mike Hanlon. So yeah, and then Lily gets sent to a police station, which we get introduced to an officer who is basically a part of the Bowers family, which is either a grandfather or another ancestor to Henry Bowers. You know, the bully with the long hair and has killing psycho problems. Yeah, that Henry Bowers. So yeah, apparently he does interview Lily about what happened in the theater, but apparently she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was there by myself. I had nothing to do with what happened in there. And of course, the Officer Bowers, or Clint Bowers, if that's his name, he does then tell Lily, you better spill the beans right now, otherwise we're gonna have to send you to that mental hospital that you grew up in. And Lily's like, oh no, I do not want to go back there, please, I'll do anything besides going back there. And of course, he then tells Lily the same question again. And guess what happened? The father gets arrested. Ronnie's father gets arrested for what happened. And of course, Ronnie is not happy about that. Like, she even starts smashing on the door to try to get Lily's attention, being like, "What did you do? Why did you get my father arrested?" And of course, Lily's mother is like, "You better get out of my property, young lady, before I call your grandmother or the police." And I have never seen Ronnie this upset. Like if my family gets arrested like that, I would get upset too. So yeah, and then we open. So the next thing that I still remember, which really traumatizes me the most, is when Lily gets attacked in the grocery store. So yeah, that scene was disturbing enough. Because apparently while she's shopping, a bunch of random customers or people were smiling at her as she keeps hearing random messages from the icon. Or the microphone, the intercom, I don't know. Apparently she then sees random stuff going on. And out of nowhere, she sees a shelf of cereal boxes. And guess who's in the cereal boxes? The same kids from episode 1. Which is Phil, Susie, and Teddy. And of course, Maddie. So apparently, Susie and Teddy's faces start getting zombified. But Maddie and Phil's faces do not get zombified. So some YouTubers are saying that there's a theory that possibly Phil and Maddie are still alive. After getting attacked by Pennywise. And apparently Lily gets freaked out and tries to escape, but apparently she gets cornered by a big hall shelf of pickles. And guess what she sees? Her father in a pickle jar with his face split into pieces. Like, I was like, ew, what is that? Just like in episode 1, we heard that apparently Lily's father died from an accident, which had something to do with pickles in it, which causes her father's death. And apparently, Lily starts getting a little scared that she just throws the pickle jar that her father is in to pieces. But apparently, a bunch of pickle jars start slamming on the floor like it's raining pickle jars on Lily. And as she slips and falls, she sees that some pieces of her father's parts start coming together and starts slobbering straight towards Lily. Like, just think of a spider crawling to you so fast. Just think of that, but with this. And then Lily's father's like, "Come on, just one little kiss for Papa." Like this kind of reminds me of the "Kiss Me, Fat Boy" thing from It Chapter 2 and the 1990 miniseries. So yeah, just as the illusion stops, she sees that a bunch of people were shocked and afraid of what they witnessed. And apparently she gets sent to the mental hospital that she didn't want to go back to. So my theory is that hospital she went to is probably the same hospital Henry Bowers was in either the 90s miniseries or from It Chapter 2. So yeah, as she starts heading in, she sees some people smiling at her as she greets them in, as they greet her in. Why am I keep saying that? So yeah, and then we cut to the final part that could hint episode 3. Which is, of course, the military. So apparently, the military have found something that's been hidden under Derry for hundreds of years. And that they want to use that sort of being or weapon that happened in that time as a weapon. Like, they're trying to weaponize it. So my theory... So my theory for episode 3... is that apparently it will be about the military going after Pennywise under Derry. Which could hint from one of the trailers where we see the military in the sewer and they're trying to capture Pennywise. So yeah, that is all I know. Like, I'm kind of curious to if Pennywise is going to show up in episode 3. Or maybe a random monster that might attack the military that is going to be hunting him down. And apparently we see that apparently, somehow, I think the Bradley gang car, or the same car Maddie was in, was buried under Derry, and a bunch of skeletons were hidden under there. So the military's like, oh my lord, we're almost there. We're so close. We just gotta find out where it is and grab it. So yeah, that could probably be what could happen in episode 3, which is the military trying to track down Pennywise and use him as a weapon to win the Cold War. Which is clearly what General Shaw is saying. So yeah, that is it for today. That is the spoiler review for episode 2 of Welcome to Derry. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with episode 3 of Welcome to Derry. Like, hopefully in episode 3 we see Pennywise for the first time ever. Or maybe him turning into a random monster to, like, attack the military. But what I'm concerned about is, are we going to see episodes with flashback scenes? Because I seen in one of the TV spots and trailers that we could be getting flashback scenes from, like, the early 1830s to, like, the BC years from when he came to Earth. Because I looked on Twitter or X.com that apparently Pennywise has multiple forms that he'll be having in this show. Like, oh my lord, I cannot wait for this. Like, seriously, we're almost close to seeing Pennywise in this show. Just as us Pennywise fans wanted. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're excited for episode 3, comment down below how excited are you for episode 3. And as foremost, I'm Titanus Foley. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as foremost, I'll see you guys in the next video. Pieces. Because apparently in her childhood... Just ignore that.